Congressman, always good to see you. Okay, so Bernie Sanders got a plan. Don't fund law enforcement. Let's just kick it all over to Medicaid so that we can squirrel it away and waste it away, just like we saw in Minnesota and California and other states. You got to love his plan, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, you can't even make this stuff up. You just did a segment on fraud, and here you've got Bernie wanting to go take money away from law enforcement. And by the way, the law enforcement that is charged with stopping so many of these folks coming in from all around the world and engaging in fraud in the United States, like you saw in Minneapolis, and then give that money to more Medicaid dollars, which, by the way, remember last summer when we had to fight for Medicaid reforms, when they said we were taking away Medicaid, even though Medicaid's going up, but the purpose of our reforms was to stop fraud? We've been on this fight for a long time, but now the American people are seeing it. The veil is being lifted. They're seeing what we've been up against and what we're fighting. And we've just got to keep writing these blank checks that allows all this fraud to go out. You have this confluence of two things: wide open borders, a terrible immigration system, and then combined with massive federal spending with unchecked oversight. And so we're putting oversight in place. We're trying to limit the number of people coming in, and we're trying to remove a lot of the fraudsters. And the American people are with us. And now you've got Bernie and Democrats who want to side with those that are violating our law, committing fraud, committing crimes like Tom Emmer just talked about, rather than the American people who want to end fraud and would like to have more money in their pockets rather than going to all of this activity that we're seeing that they're tired of seeing.
Speaking of increased security, Congressman, I want to ask you about something I know you're passionate about, which is the SAVE Act, a piece of legislation that you are co-sponsoring, which would require folks to offer some proof of citizenship when they register to vote in a federal election. Well, the SAVE Act has gotten a lot of pushback from Democrats in recent days. The president spoke about the SAVE Act just moments ago from the White House. Let's listen to what he had to say.
Who would not want voter ID? Only somebody that wants to cheat. Think of it. We don't have voter ID, and the Democrats don't want it. And the reason they don't want it is because they want to cheat, because there's no reason in the world. And I love that debate, Lindsay. I love saying, well, why don't you want voter ID? And you watch them say, I don't know.
Congressman, what's coming up next for the SAVE Act?
Well, first of all, I'm the proud author of the SAVE Act. I authored it almost 2 years ago in the 2024 cycle because I was concerned about what happened in that election. And so my friend Mike Lee has it in the Senate. We've now amended that to be the Save America Act, collaborating with the president, who is exactly right. This is a huge issue for us. So it's now citizenship plus voter ID. That's the Save America Act. We think the House needs to take that, send it over to the Senate. We can send that over in a package that expedites consideration in the Senate. And then we need Leader Thune and Senate Republicans to do what the American people want. Put this on the floor for a vote, but importantly, have all 51 Republicans sitting down there on the floor who support it, down on the floor of the Senate, demanding that Democrats have to talk to filibuster like Mr. Smith goes to Washington, rather than hiding behind the fake filibuster, or my friend Mike Lee calls it the zombie filibuster, where all these folks want to just walk around and go to their fundraisers rather than working. We think they need to work. Go down to the floor. You want to stop this? You go to the American people on the Senate floor and you tell them you're against voter ID. You tell the American people you're for non-citizens voting. We think we can win that debate. We want to have that debate. The House ought to force the hand of the Senate, and then Majority Leader Thune should put it on the floor of the Senate. That's what the American people are demanding.
I would like to see that, Congressman. One last quick one for you. You got a federal judge who blocks the Trump administration on ending temporary protected status for Haitians. It's just, there's nothing temporary in D.C. How can you fix this? Because it's insane.
Yeah, we're trying. Look, this is a judge, I think her name's Ana Reyes, who is a foreign-born LGBTQ judge appointed by Biden, who works under Boasberg in this whole corrupt D.C. system, which, by the way, I tried to defund during the appropriations process. And unfortunately, a few Republicans sided with my Democrats to stop that. We should defund these radical judges in D.C. And she's a radical judge. TPS is a program that was supposed to be temporary, created in 1990. They are now using it. Biden used it to put all sorts of people into temporary status that they don't get removed. So now what did you have? President Trump said, look, there are 350,000 Haitians that need to go. And this judge stepped in the way. We need to make sure we get this done and stop these radical judges from interfering with President Trump.
You're absolutely right. The Haitians were granted the temporary status way back in 2010. So going on 16 years now. I'm not sure we can call that temporary, but Congressman Chip Roy, so wonderful to see you.